It's very easy to create all the colors that you would need out of the 3 primary colors. You can even use the paper, if you have white paper, as kind of like your white. So you lighten the paint with water. I've even done this with acrylic, but gouache is much easier to do it with. So even if you don't have white, you can kind of only apply paint sparingly in the places you want to have highlights so that the white of the paper shows through. But I really want to focus this video on all the colors you can get out of the 3 primary colors and white, because that's what I usually take in my travel kit. And that's usually all I need. I find it fun to mix my own colors, but it does make the process a little bit longer if you already have the colors ready to go. Of course, you can move a little bit faster, but I think even when I have several colors to work with, more than the 4, I end up mixing my own colors because there's different depths I want of the color, like darknesses or lightnesses, or I want to create a new color that just happens to be unique to that painting. So this video really is to show you all the different ways that I mix colors. So let's start at the beginning. Each of the primary colors can mix with the other primary colors. So there's 3 of them. The first is red, and red can be mixed with yellow to make orange. So that's what I'm doing here. You can see that I've mixed like a kind of burnt sienna orange, and then you can make it lighter with more yellow. So you could do 2 parts yellow to 1 part red to get like a lighter orange, and then 1 part red to 2 parts red to 1 part yellow to make a darker red. And then if you do kind of half and half, you get more of a pumpkin color, or like a true orange. And then of course, if you mix white with that, you can get like lighter and darker, lighter hues. If you don't mix any white with it, it'll be very vibrant and saturated in color. Okay, so then there's blue. Blue can be mixed with yellow as well, and blue and yellow make green. So again, if you add 1 part yellow to 2 parts blue, you get more of a blue-based green, a little bit more like a teal. And then if you add 2 parts yellow to 1 part blue, you get a little bit more on the chartreuse end, or like lime green. And you can experiment with it. I think it's one of those things like you keep adding until you get it right. It's almost like a recipe, you know, you may be advised to put 1 teaspoon of nutmeg in, but you want more of that spice in it, so you add a little bit more until it tastes right to you. That's how I cook, at least. So you can apply the same principle to painting. Just keep mixing till you get it right. Sometimes you might end up with like loads of that paint till you got it perfect, but no, you can like save it and use it for future paintings. Okay, so another mix that you can do is red and blue. So red and blue make purple, and if you mix them half and half, it can be pretty close to like a royal purple. But if you have too much blue, it's a little bit more on the navy, like really deep purple side. It's harder to distinguish as purple from navy. And so I highly recommend to get like all the pretty lavenders and purples that we probably are accustomed to add a little bit of white. It kind of brings out the purpleness of it. To make brown, you mix all 3 together. And what you could do to make it a little easier for yourself is to make green first out of blue and yellow, and then add red. And that's the easiest way to get brown. If you just mix all 3 together, the proportions might be a little off, and you might end up with kind of a muddier color than you want. So green and red is typically how you make brown. So I would start with making green first. And then of course, if you want it to be more tan, you'll notice like in a tree, you need highlights and deep dark brown. So, you know, mix a little bit of white in it for those highlighted parts of the bark. You know, brown on skin is often has a little bit of white in it for like the higher points of our face, like our cheekbones, our nose, or forehead, regardless of skin tone. Like there may be like just points of the face you want to highlight as the like taller parts of your face, like they come out higher, and so they get highlighted naturally by light. And then with black, that is really like purple and brown. So I would make purple first and then add it to your brown to get black. I think that making these colors, it's a lot easier if you kind of build on them. I have just thrown all the colors together to get it, and then I just end up kind of trial and erroring until I get black, which is why I might end up with a little more black sometimes. Black's a great color to use. I used to use it a lot more to kind of emphasize like a horizon line or create a silhouette, but lately I haven't been using it as much. I find that I get by with like a navy or like a dark brown. But you can also just buy black. I mean, if you're, depending on your art, you know, white and black could be like your staples. But if you need it, in a painting you can often get away with like a dark purple to serve as black. And sometimes I might make it more interesting or more natural looking. Obviously you can also lighten colors to make other colors. I didn't talk about pink, but pink is red mixed with white. And if you want it to be a little more magenta, you might add a little blue to it. Fuchsia definitely has more of it kind of comes from purple, so it has a little more blue in it. But yeah, if you want to make more of a peach color, you could just lighten orange and add a little bit more pink to it, you know, kind of build on each other. So there's quite a range of colors that I've created here, and you can see that, you know, I could use all of these in one painting or in different paintings. And feel free to mix your paints on a palette. I think that is a little bit easier than loading up your paper with paint. You know, but if you're working on canvas, I mix a lot of paint on canvas, you know, just in the moment. If a section is looking too light, I might add more of the dark color. If a section is looking too dark, I might lighten it with white. So, or if it's looking too orange, you know, you could add more red. If it's like looking too brown, you could kind of like add more green to it. Those are different ways you can do it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Have a wonderful time painting. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And in the meantime, until my next video, please follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.